Okay, Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs, about 2 weeks away, if you can believe it. And I was looking up the Kansas City Chiefs, and they've got some issues. Nothing crazy, but their best defensive player is injured. They've got suspensions on their defensive line. They've got other injuries on their defensive line. So defensive line wise, it's not looking good for them. And that's something that we are going to absolutely exploit if we can. Running the ball is going to be priority number one for us this year. I know Jared Goff, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, but I think we really want to run the ball. We tried to last year, and we ran it pretty effectively, but there were some holes. There were some things there that we couldn't take advantage of. Either was Swift not being able to take advantage of it, or Jamal Williams just doesn't have that burst or that elusiveness that we now have with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. So let's take a look at it. Their best defensive player, Chris Jones, is still holding out, and now with 2 weeks to go until the season, even if he comes back today, it still could be a challenge for him. So that I love. I love seeing that he's been holding out. So if you take a look at this, they have a defensive tackle, Matt Dickerson, who mixed in with the first team at camp. He's dealing now with a turf toe injury. They've got Turk Wharton, who's recovering from ACL injury, just returned to the lineup on Tuesday, but he's got a flare up that cost him a week plus of practice. So there's two players right there that are out. Kansas City front office is still vetting the room's depth with veterans such as Malik Herring, Joshua Canado, and Danny Shelton. That tells you all you need to know right there. If you remember Danny Shelton, this is 4 years ago with the Lions. He was terrible. So I can't believe Danny Shelton's still in the league, but this is great. This is great to see that the Kansas City Chiefs are kind of reeling a little bit. And the defensive line is one area that, hey, look, we know we got to score points, and if we can control the ball, run the ball. So to see some of these injuries and some of these suspensions along the defensive line is great. So if you look at it, they have a defensive end that's suspended as well. So he has been suspended for the first 6 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. No idea what he did. Don't care. See ya. He's gone. So Chris Jones is gone. Their starting defensive tackle, starting right end is gone. So in Dondi, is that his name? I don't know how you spell it. And I'm no Chiefs expert here, but I'm bringing to your attention, keep watching Chris Jones. Hopefully he keeps holding out. Keep holding out, Chris. Love it. And then look at the depth. If Danny Shelton is your guy that's going to come in, look at that. Chris Jones, Danny Shelton. I mean, oh my gosh, absolutely. So you look at the Chiefs roster defensively. We all know offensively. I mean, I'm with you there. Offensively, you got the best quarterback in the league. You're going to be okay, just no matter what. I mean, literally. But defensively, let's go. I will take my chances with Jared Goff in a shootout against the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's go back to this article. Chris Jones holding out. And so I don't think Chris is in any different than any other player that misses the entire camp and has to play. It's tough. You certainly can't expect that particular person, as good as Chris is, to play every down, and then you worry about injuries, the body. Now Chris always keeps himself in good shape, but football shape is different. So hopefully he can get him back, and when that happens, we'll just have to figure out how to go about it. Beautiful. Like I said, even if he comes back today, it's going to be hard for him to have a real big impact like he can have, being just one of the best defensive players in the league, let alone on the Kansas City Chiefs. So when asked of the impact of the 53-man roster, Spagnuolo deferred to general manager Veach, fine. As the clock ticks away, the team seems to be embracing the genuine possibility of week 1 without Chris Jones, considering the suspension to Emanui, don't know how to say his name, and what the lineup showed at camp. The starting 4 looks like this. So even Wharton there is not fully healthy right now. So they've just got a lot of guys with hard to pronounce names. Number one, I just learned that. But a lot of guys, starters that have been suspended, injured, looking for depth. If anything, I saw Danny Shelton for the first time in 4 years, and it just was like, that guy was terrible. And he's who the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be counting on against the Detroit Lions. It's a big difference without Jones, but it's always next man up, Dana said. I mean, I love that. this guy right here is just admitting it's a huge difference without him in there. You got to be ready when your number is called, and that's why we're professional athletes. That's why we're out here taking reps. And I think the biggest thing you can do is just keep on stacking each day, have the next man ready. Love it, love it, love it. All cliche things, next man up, all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is you're losing a Pro Bowl defensive lineman, and now you're allowing the Lions to, if we had to write up the perfect game plan, it's going to be run the ball, control the clock, eat clock, and just keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands. In any situation, you want to be able to run the ball, stop the run. And so I think we can do both of those things. So I'm really excited about this matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs. Even more excited now that they have more problems than I realized. I mean, I knew even offensively. I mean, I'm being realistic here. Patrick Mahomes, come on. He's the best quarterback in the league, so you're going to be fine. But if you look around at Tony's injured, Pacheco's a little injured right now. Valdez-Scantling does not scare you at all. Sky Moore's good. Kelsey, obviously. They have a solid offensive line, but it's not on the days of when they just had a prime Travis Kelsey, young Travis Kelsey, and Tyreek Hill. I mean, that was different. They're Super Bowl champs. I get it. I'm not saying these guys suck all of a sudden, but to just think that the Chiefs are an invincible team and to go into Arrowhead and oh my gosh, it's going to be 30-0 at halftime. No, let's go. This is going to be a great game. Lions are going to be right in it to the end. I can't wait to see how we control the game offensively. And because I really believe that we are going to run the ball. We're going to absolutely run the ball. It's a point of emphasis. It's what we wanted and could do last year, but we didn't have the backs to just take that really good 8-yard run, and it should have been 20. He should have made a guy miss, but Jamal Williams was never going to make anybody miss, and Swift missed the hole half the time. I mean, man, oh man. So what's going to happen with David Montgomery, Shifty, maybe make some things happen. Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, the more I see about him and the more I read about him and the more people that know football are like, Jahmyr Gibbs, how he lasted till 12 really is amazing because he is such a weapon. He's one of the few players in college football that every time he touched the ball, it was explosive, big things happening. So running the rock is going to be something that we're going to absolutely try to do. And oh, by the way, the Chiefs defensive line is a little shaky right now. So keep an eye on Chris Jones. I am going to be watching that. Stay out. Even if he comes back, it's just like every day that he doesn't show up is a win for the Lions because he's not going to play as much as he should, even if at all in week 1, just as he's trying to acclimate and get his body right. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we will see all of you on the next one.